My landlord illegally evicted me during chemo, so I made him pay rent to the government forever. My landlord Larry hated anyone paying below market rent. Mrs. Kim paid $800 for her place, and every winter her pipes would burst until she couldn't take it anymore and moved. Ramon was paying $750, and Larry wrote him up for everything. Left his shoes outside for a minute, trash bag in the hall while he grabbed his keys, made his life hell until he left. Then Mrs. Abby, who'd been there forever, got told her cat wasn't allowed, even though she'd had it for years. She was gone within a week. I paid $650 for my one bedroom in Larry's historic building, and he treated me like a thief. The man started losing my checks and demanding cash only. When I complained about the lost checks, he'd show fake deposit slips and blame the bank. The maintenance inspections became weekly harassment sessions where he photographed dust like evidence. Everything changed the day after my lymphoma diagnosis. A 30-day eviction notice appeared on my door, claiming structural damage required everyone to vacate. My sister Julia offered her couch but lived 2 hours from the cancer center. The chemo schedule meant I needed to stay close to the hospital for daily treatments. Larry escalated his tactics once he knew about the cancer. He refused my rent payments and claimed he couldn't accept money during the renovation period. The man scheduled mandatory inspections during my chemo appointments and wrote violations when I couldn't answer. Construction crews arrived at dawn to measure walls despite his permit applications being denied. Another tenant told me Larry said, "Once the cancer patient is gone, we can finally modernize this place." That Thursday's chemo left me barely able to walk. Julia drove me home where I found an eviction notice taped to my door. The locks had been changed. My key scraped uselessly against metal that wouldn't turn. My belongings filled garbage bags lining the hallway. Mother's jewelry box sat on top with her pearls spilling onto dirty carpet. Larry stood there with 2 hired security guards watching me struggle to stay upright. "This is for your own safety. A building with structural issues isn't suitable for someone in your condition." I slid down the wall while Julia screamed about lawsuits. Larry's renovation plans stuck out of the recycling bin, showing my apartment as a luxury penthouse. All those rejected permits suddenly made sense. Julia begged me to leave somewhere safe. I looked at Larry and felt my weakness transform into something harder. "I'm not going anywhere. This is my home." Julia's husband Tony worked at a law office and immediately spotted Larry's illegal eviction. The lockout violated city law requiring court orders for any eviction. Our historic rent-controlled building had triple damages for illegal lockouts. Tony helped document everything while we waited for the locksmith. We photographed my belongings in the hallway and kept the eviction notice. The locksmith confirmed the lock was changed within 2 hours. I spent the next week calling former tenants. Mrs. Kim told me he shut off my heat every January until the pipes froze. Said it was maintenance issues, but it happened like clockwork. Ramon had similar stories. Mrs. Abby too. Each person thought they'd been alone until I connected them. The strategy crystallized as I studied tenant law between chemo sessions. Larry counted on sick people lacking energy to fight and poor people not knowing their rights. I would use his assumptions against him. The illegal eviction lawsuit moved through emergency housing court within days. The judge ordered Larry to restore my tenancy immediately and pay triple damages. I then filed 7 years of ignored repair requests listing every violation I documented. The city inspector arrived with a team and found 47 code violations. Mold-covered bathroom walls behind fresh paint Larry had slapped on. Lead paint peeled from every window frame he'd ignored for decades. The heating system violated multiple safety codes. My disability discrimination complaint triggered a federal investigation that expanded rapidly. Larry had evicted 3 other cancer patients and 2 disabled veterans using similar tactics. Each victim came forward with documentation after learning about my case. Larry panicked when the first $50,000 fine arrived. He called offering free rent for life if I dropped everything. I recorded the call and added it to my evidence file. He then tried filing false violations claiming I was running a meth lab. The inspector laughed and fined him for false reporting. His contractors started refusing his calls after he demanded they skip permits. One electrician reported him for asking him to do dangerous work without proper licensing. The Historic Landmark Commission required specialized contractors that charged triple normal rates. Larry's empire crumbled faster than my health ever had. His other buildings faced similar lawsuits as tenants organized and shared information. Banks called in loans after seeing the federal investigation reports. The man who'd terrorized hundreds was reduced to begging tenants he'd abused. I'm still here 3 years later in remission. Larry can't sell the building, no investor will touch it. Former tenants moved back after winning lawsuits. He works 2 jobs paying settlements while ranting about conspiracies. My fire escape garden blooms where he documented fake violations. Staying was the perfect revenge.